Kalyan Singh ji passed away 1 or 2 days ago, right from the point when we are shooting this video right now. And then he's left a huge void in the politics of not just Uttar Pradesh, but he's played a significant role in awakening of the Hindu civilization, right? So, what are your comments? And as a filmmaker, obviously, our own history has not been written and recorded in a way in which our own children and future generations can benefit from it. What are your comments on this?
See, I'll actually, with your permission, I will go back a bit in history and make some comments which may be displeasing to a certain segment, but these are all facts. Not many people know that Mr. Nehru, who was the first Prime Minister of India, and was the Prime Minister of India at the time when the Ram Janambhoomi problem started in Free India. He never went to any school in India. He never went to any school till the age of 16. He had no friends. He had no information about India till the age of 16. After that, he went to Britain to have his studies. When he came back, he was perpetually surrounded by people who didn't belong to India. There was no cultural perspective as far as he's concerned, with India. It is said by many that Motilal Nehru was westernized, but Nehru was Western. So giving that broad perspective to this debate, when in 1949, in December 22nd, when Ramlala idols appeared in Ayodhya, the district magistrate of the place had written multiple letters to the Home Ministry. And the initial reaction from Prime Minister was that there is no chamatkar, there is no magic that happens, and please take out the idols and keep them somewhere else, because it doesn't happen that way. Right. One letter went from the district magistrate, and he said, sir, if that is the instruction that you're giving me, I will do that. But the repercussions of that are not going to be felt only in Ayodhya. It's going to be felt in throughout north of India and all over India. That was a time when Nehru buckled up under pressure, and he the only thing he did was put the lock on the premises and left it at status quo. So it was a very weak beginning, in the Free India for this kind of a thing. Firstly, totally, ridiculing the thing, and then buckling up under pressure and, putting the locks on the premises. That continued for 3.5 decades, till such time that a very famous Shah Banu case happened in, where an old Muslim woman was divorced by her husband and there was no alimony for her. She finally won the case in mid-80s when Nehru's grandson Rajiv was the Prime Minister. And despite the fact that it was a Supreme Court ruling, and despite the fact that at that time, the Minister of State for Home, Arif Muhammad Khan, gave a very passionate speech in the parliament, which was more than 1.5 hours, in support of, the Supreme Court judgment. When the Maulanas and Maulvis threatened Rajiv Gandhi as to, this is not possible, it will not happen. So he again buckled up and he surrendered to them, and Shah Banu judgment was overturned by the mandate of the parliament, which he had a brutal majority at that time. Right. So that was the whole backdrop when this Ram Mandir movement had started. Then Rajiv Gandhi, because he had done something grave against the Brahmins and Hindus, so to balance the act, he decided to open the locks of the Ram temple, and even sort of in some notional way, he did the Shilanyas at that point of time. But that was it. So it was only when Advani ji had started his Rath Yatra, then the momentum had built up. Otherwise, that, I mean, Ram is not a Hindu god. Ram is the nationalist cultural, identity of India.
Right.
Beyond the realms of religion for anyone. So every Indian, in some way or the other, believes in Ram and the legend of Ram. There are lots of daily life examples that run around Ram. So it was at that time there was one political leader in India who had a sole motive of erecting a Ram temple and under any cost. A very, very effective administrator that Kalyan Singh was. In addition to the fact that he was a devout Ram Janam Bhoomi supporter and Ram temple supporter, he was the first. There was an onslaught of hooliganism in Uttar Pradesh when the first time Mulayam Singh and Kashi Ram had come together to create a kind of a Samajwadi movement. And that resulted in creation of a Green Brigade. Not many people will know all these things because people don't look at what happened. But that was a time when UP had become a mafia capital of India.
Right.
So he not only crushed the entire mafia movement, which was obviously led by essentially by Samajwadi group and some Congress groups, but so he had created a lot of flutter, and when the monetary interests of certain political groups and dynasties come under threat, they always react in a very harsh way. So the whole idea was to dismantle the government of Kalyan Singh, and the atmosphere that was built around the Ram temple at that point of time, it was converted in such a way so that the government of Kalyan Singh had to go. The reason not essentially was desecration, the falling of Babri Masjid, or the the illegal structure that was created over there. The reason were multiple, because he had become a major factor in dismantling the illegal wealth creation by Samajwadis and Congress at that point of time.
Mm-hmm.
He was very clear, unapologetic about his pursuance of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. And today, I think the world recognizes that. And I'm so glad that the BJP has gone a step forward and given him the kind of honor that a man of his stature so much richly deserves.
Absolutely. I think India will remember him and the contribution that he did for generations to come, because that has changed the social fabric and that has changed the way we look at certain political and religious issues in India as well.
If you can give me 30 more seconds on this thing. See, I mean, because I created that, the whole Nehru legacy, with India.
Sure.
So the fact remains that, immediately after independence, and because of the fact that, Nehru never related to the cultural Hinduism of India. So he actually, he lived in a world that didn't exist. There is nothing like, unfortunately, without sort of sounding too radical in this thing, the fact remains that, there is no peaceful version of Islam that is being practiced in the world. So not only, buckling under the pressure of Islamists at that time, but also the pressure of communists who totally eradicated the history of Hindustan, the the Hindu Pradesh of India.
Right.
And so I think with the Ram Janambhoomi movement, the existence of the native Indian came into being, which was totally sort of smashed to smithereens,
Yes.
right through the Congress rule. So that's what my perspective on the role of Kalyan Singh is, because I think the Hindu awakened at that time that we have a legacy and there is something called Hindu culturalism, which India is all about.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.